Drew McIntyre's plans for the 2021 Royal Rumble event became pretty apparent after WWE Raw Legends Night. But it looks like the current WWE champion will rekindle his feud with Randy Orton. The two rivals will clash in a non-title match on WWE Monday Night Raw. This announcement surprised WWE fans, as both McIntyre and Orton already faced each other numerous times in the latter half of 2020. Plus, both competitors have been engaged in separate feuds since McIntyre took the WWE Championship back from Orton in November. This time around, Orton and McIntyre will face each other under a different context. McIntyre is dealing with the looming threat of Goldberg. On the other hand, Orton is on the lookout for the Fiend. Clearly, this match isn't just about the title, and anything could happen on the road to WrestleMania. Here are 5 potential finishes for Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre's non-title match on the upcoming episode of WWE Raw. If you are new here, you are welcome. Be sure to like and subscribe. Number 5. Drew McIntyre defeats Randy Orton in a clean finish. A pinfall victory over Randy Orton, without any shenanigans, would be the most basic outcome for Drew McIntyre on Monday night. When all the external factors are removed from this equation, McIntyre should have the advantage in this match. He has defeated the Viper several times in the recent past. The odds are stacked against the Apex Predator if Orton and McIntyre are set to have a normal match on WWE Raw. A clean finish wouldn't bring anything new to the storyline between the current WWE champion and the Viper. For this reason, it would be a little surprising to see this match end without any interference. But WWE could certainly opt to take this direction on Monday night. The company may have decided to book this match in an attempt to boost the show's ratings. With a decisive win, McIntyre could move on and focus on his Royal Rumble clash against Goldberg. Meanwhile, a loss would motivate Orton to win the Royal Rumble match. Number 4. Randy Orton defeats Drew McIntyre to insert himself into the WWE Championship picture. Though Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre's upcoming clash isn't for the WWE Championship, it could still shake up the title picture. If Orton wins on Monday night, he could earn a title match. It doesn't make a lot of sense to restart this recently concluded feud. A McIntyre victory would be somewhat gratuitous. So Orton could defeat McIntyre on WWE Raw to throw a curveball at the fans. Orton's potential victory might involve some shenanigans. But a mostly clean finish would allow the Viper to enter the title scene once again. As a result of this particular finish, Orton could challenge McIntyre for the WWE Championship on the road to WWE Royal Rumble. McIntyre seemingly started a feud with Goldberg last week. But their face-off on WWE Raw Legends Night missed a few crucial details, and it felt rushed because the show was ending. The Apex Predator could enter this rivalry and act as the clear heel in a potential 3-way feud on the road to WWE Royal Rumble. Number 3. Goldberg could target the Legend Killer on WWE Raw. Many fans criticized the ending of WWE Raw last week because Goldberg said McIntyre disrespects legends. Anyone who watched WWE Raw throughout 2020 knows that McIntyre has been nothing but respectful to the veterans of this industry. But Randy Orton made it his personal mission to take out various legends. WWE's official article for this non-title match states that McIntyre will respond to Goldberg's challenge for the WWE Championship. Here, Goldberg could make an appearance and cross paths with the Viper before Orton's match with McIntyre. In theory, Goldberg could get involved in the non-title bout to make sure that Orton has bad night on WWE Raw. After all, Goldberg's stance against superstars who disrespect legends makes Orton a perfect antagonist for the WCW icon. Goldberg could simply distract Orton and help McIntyre win the match. The former WWE Universal Champion could even get physically involved in some capacity. Either way, there is a slight possibility that Goldberg could target the Apex Predator on WWE Raw. Number 2. Bray Wyatt could return in some capacity to renew his heated WWE rivalry with Randy Orton. Goldberg is not the only potential external factor to look out for in this match on WWE Raw. Randy Orton burned the Fiend in the first ever Firefly Inferno match at WWE TLC. But most fans expect Bray Wyatt to continue his rivalry with the Viper. Some rumors suggest that Orton will face Wyatt in a Firefly Funhouse match at the upcoming Royal Rumble pay-per-view. In that case, Wyatt could return during Orton's match with McIntyre. The bout could end in a disqualification if Wyatt lays his hands on Orton. Or the Fiend could simply distract the Viper and allow McIntyre to pick up the victory. Either way, WWE could plant the seeds for Wyatt's next clash with Orton in this exciting match. Judging by Wyatt's cryptic tweets, it is possible that his potential return could showcase a slightly repackaged version of The Fiend on WWE Raw. If Wyatt chooses to come back during this bout, he'd easily grab the fans' attention. Number 1. Both Goldberg and Bray Wyatt could both crash Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton's non-title match on WWE Raw. Both Goldberg and Bray Wyatt have been associated with Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton on WWE Raw. Fans could see both stars target their respective enemies on Monday night. With this potential finish, it's worth pointing out the controversial history between Goldberg and Bray Wyatt. Many WWE fans are still sour over Goldberg's victory over The Fiend at Super Showdown in 2020. The loss crushed Wyatt's momentum at the time. Plenty of WWE fans fear that the same scenario might play out in a match between McIntyre and Goldberg. WWE might pull off a huge surprise by having Goldberg and Wyatt interfere in this non-title match on WWE Raw. The sight of these four stars sharing the same ring could be an electric moment for the WWE Universe. The match itself will most likely end in a no contest if Goldberg and Wyatt get involved at the same time. But this potential confrontation between all four competitors would open up numerous possibilities. As a result, WWE Raw could become a must-see show on the road to WrestleMania.